If you haven't checked out part 1 to this video, feel free to go watch it, link in description. This is meant to be a hecatonch here. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but there's only supposed to be 3 of them in the whole world. Only one of them is supposed to be still living in this time period. So this has to be Briareus, who's shown in the 4th book, The Battle of the Labyrinth. So you're telling me that Briareus, the only 100-hand giant, or 8-handed according to this movie, currently in existence, is working in a random coffee shop in Washington, D.C.? Yeah, sure, that works. Not this again, no! Why are there teleporters? I'm not sure what to think about this Hermes scene. It's not in the books, but it's pretty creative making a UPS since the books are all based on Greek mythology in modern times. I think it works in this movie.
You twist the cap off this, you release the winds from the 4 corners of the earth. Now you tell me that isn't cool. Whoa, no, not in here!
I like how they kept the wind thermos in this. It's a nice thing they decided to keep in.
Luke's on a yacht called the Andromeda. It's passing by Chesapeake Beach as we speak.
Princess Andromeda, actually. There were 3 hippocampi in the books, and Percy summoned them, not Tyson. This ship is way too small for how big it actually was in the books. Once again, another way for them to save money by not renting a massive cruise ship.
Want some sugar?
What the hell? Who just carries sugar around in their pockets? When they got to the ship in the book, it was completely deserted, but in this, all of Luke's warriors are already shown. What is this monster even supposed to be? I think this is supposed to be a mix between the manticore from the 3rd book and the giant crab from the 2nd. Manticores are meant to have a scorpion tail, but this has a crab claw for a tail instead.
It's been a long time. You look good.
Ew. Luke is way older than her and isn't meant to have a thing for her in the books, but she kinda has a crush on him. This line just seems creepy when you know their actual backstory.
He's a Cyclops. They're vicious and they're dangerous.
I'm pretty sure he can probably hear you. Jesus, he's that powerful? That seems like a really quick scaling up of power out of nowhere.
I think I'm gonna vomit. Yep.
So Tyson got sick from that, but not riding in the cab. Interesting. This tape gun never existed in the books, but it's not a terrible addition, I guess. Why doesn't Percy use his sword in this fight? It'd probably make it a lot easier.
What are you doing? Don't walk on my roof.
Okay, that's actually the first line of the movie that kind of made me chuckle. What? Okay, now this power scaling is just wait, how is Luke even walking on it? What is going on? Gross.
Some campers, Boy Scouts, showed up. And when they saw me, they screamed.
Mortals shouldn't even be able to tell he's a Cyclops because of the mist, so this whole life story is just wrong. In the books, this thermos was way more powerful and basically had them travel it like the speed of sound. If it's supposed to unleash the winds from the 4 corners of the world, it seems like it should be a little more powerful. This just seems to have them travel at the speed of a regular boat.
It's Charybdis! What?
God, I hate this joke. I've seen it used in so many movies and it's always just a neutral face moment. This scene actually looks really cool though. The size of Charybdis really aligns with how I imagined it in the book. They never get sucked inside in the book and they steer clear of Charybdis, but I think it's pretty cool to explore what it's like on the inside.
Oh, come on! That sounded like Clarice.
You idiots! Better keep my electrical grid up and running or I'll plug your heads into it!
Clarice!
Jackson?
They meet up in a different way in the book, but I think this works too. If you're gonna change the book, these are the types of changes that I like to see.
Reardon! What in Hades is going on with my engine? Is it ready yet?
Did she just say Reardon? I'm pretty sure that's a reference to the author of the books, Rick Riordan. That's actually a pretty cool addition. This bit of the movie is actually doing things right. How did they just do that? I'm pretty sure there's no way that could ever actually work. I like how they included this coordinates thing with Percy. It's pretty accurate to the books.
Polyphemus lives in an amusement park?
No, he lives on an island. But the goddess Circe thought building an amusement park on top of it was a good idea.
This is dumb. No clue why they added this weird thing about the amusement park. But it makes no sense and now the movie is back to adding random shit that shouldn't have been added in the first place. The fleece is on him? It's meant to be on a tree on the island and it invigorates the whole island with natural energy, which makes it really easy to find. It seems weird that he's wearing the fleece. It has powers to restore and heal anything it touches, so shouldn't his eyesight be fixed? I think this was a big mistake to make this change.
Hey, yo, Clopsies!
Huh?
I quit!
Oh, this is so cringe. Polyphemus doesn't even seem scary at all, and they're kind of just toying with him. It makes the climax so much less climactic. It's over already? The Cyclops fight didn't even last 4 minutes. This was the climax of the book, and was probably the most underwhelming thing of the entire movie.
You do it for me.
Yeah? I don't think he would. I feel absolutely nothing about him dying, because he's kind of just this annoying character this whole movie, and I have no real reason to like him. Dude, use your sword, what the hell? He's just elbowing everyone, not even trying to use it.
I know you can breathe underwater, Jackson. But can you breathe like this?
Nope, probably not. Wow, he's back, everyone's favorite character. In the books, Luke was used as a vessel for Kronos since he wasn't strong enough to come back in full form, but somehow they cram in the climax to the entire series in this movie. Except in the book, it was done 100 times better in every way possible. Kronos wasn't even mentioned in the last movie other than a brief reference about him from Chiron, but in this movie he fully reforms. Luke's reasons for turning evil are so bad and not even justified. In the books, Kronos used him to come back to life. This is just incredibly ruined. Well, that happened.
You want to know who gave me this sword? The god that killed you with it in the first place. My father.
No, this just did not happen. Kronos was killed by Zeus using his own scythe against him to chop him up into pieces and send him to Tartarus. All of what Percy said is just plain wrong.
No!
What did she just say?
No! No! No!
Really? Just like that? That was somehow maybe even more anticlimactic than the Polyphemus fight. It literally lasted less than 3 minutes. Wait, did you see that? Let's look closer. Epic.
You don't need these anymore.
Yes, he does. Let's just put those back on. There we go. Why are they setting this up for a sequel? They already time skipped to the very end of the 5th book. There's no more material for them to do a movie on something that could be bigger than Kronos. If they wanted to do a sequel, they could have paced this correctly without cutting out a million things in between Polyphemus and Kronos.
Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe the Oracle meant Talia all along.
What? Is this supposed to mean Kronos is coming back? Everyone knows the best thing to do for a franchise is have the final villain die in the 2nd movie and then be reborn in the next just to be defeated again. So that was somehow way worse than the 1st movie. It was way less entertaining and I didn't really care about any of the characters. The story was just rushed beyond recognition. I don't think this adaptation could have been done any worse. The only thing that was slightly good was the decent effects and maybe the 5-minute segment where they went inside Charybdis. That part wasn't terrible, I guess. This is gonna be a 2 out of 10 for me. Really just a horrible movie.